Hello, everybody. Let people get settled in. All right, well, let's see. We've got 12 participants. I think we're probably in good shape to go. Do a quick introduction. My name is Jeremy Weiss. I am the Membership and Administrative Coordinator here at the Vermont League of Cities and Towns. Very glad that all of you could join. This is going to just be kind of an informal Q&A. I've got a few things I'm going to go over. So feel free if you want to ask a question anytime. You can unmute yourself. You can put on the camera. We can have a conversation if you have questions. I think in the meantime, we'll give it another maybe 30 seconds just to get if there's any last folks who want to join us. Hello, Barbara, by the way, and hi, Anne. Good to see you guys on here. All right, well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get it going. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I guess a couple of things. I am joined here by Jessica Hill, who is the wonderful and important Jessica Hill, and we're also joined by Shayna Lyon, who does VLCT events. She's in the background helping out. Thank you very much for being here. And this is just going to be a Q&A, so I'll go through some of the materials and some of the parts of the municipal access portal that I think are important, that I think are kind of the high-level pieces. And then we'll open it up for questions. And if you all have questions, we can kind of go through those. Hopefully I'll have answers. If I don't, we'll take some notes and get back to you. Also, this will be recorded, is being recorded, so we're going to be able to put this up on the FAQ page. And if there are other pieces, feel free to hit me up in the chat. I'll keep an eye on that, or you can unmute yourself and just ask a question. Sounds good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's go to here. That's what I want. Okay. Now I'm ready to share screen. All right. So looks like it's loaded. Looks like we're going. So we're going to just start, as all of you have been able to do. We'll just do a quick login. So dashboard, this is kind of the central point when you come into the website. Once you have access to the member dashboard, you can cruise the web, you can go to different parts if you wanted to look at different things. Everything that is behind a paywall, you'll be able to access those things. I'm just kind of cruising around. So when you're searching and you're trying to figure out, oh, how to get back to my dashboard, you're always going to kind of go up to this little character right up here next to logout. That will take you back to the member dashboard. I think the first thing I want to show you all is just about profile, user profile. You can change all of this information. You can upload a picture. The one important piece I would put here is this is the login credentials. So profile, and then login info. This is where you're going to find your login credentials. So if you ever want or need to change your password, this is where you're going to put in your 14-character password, and you'll confirm it, and then you'll hit update. That button will kind of turn green for a second, and then it'll take, and that will be your login moving forward. As you all have discovered by now, it is a 14-character minimum, needs one uppercase, one lowercase, a number, and a special character. Not all of the special characters work, so stick with, for now, we're sticking with the exclamation point, the asterisk, the hyphen, the lower score, those all work for sure. So that's one piece there. There's also a little section for personal bio if you want to put in a bio. And also communication preferences. So this is the piece. A lot of you, when you first logged in, probably saw that there was like a little red note asking you to update. That'll just take you here. This is where you can kind of go through. You can check or uncheck all of the newsletters and all of the things, so you can kind of tailor the types of alerts, the types of event marketing information, newsletters that are going to be shared with you. So going through, I think the next piece, and again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out and let me know. Events. This one, so you can kind of, you'll see I'm signed up for an event coming up. One of the questions that I've been getting a lot lately is how to register for an event, how to register someone else for an event. So that's going to be here, register for an event. So let's do one that is free that's coming up, this iManage. So let's say that I am registering one of my members for an event. So at this, so I'll just go back. You can kind of see when you select on the event, you can get some details. You can look at the pricing before you go in. So this is a free event. That's one of the reasons I'm using it for an example. So yeah, let's do that one. I'm going to register, and I'm going to register for somebody else. So let's do Barbara. I'm going to register you. So you can actually do a couple different ways that you can search if you want to sign up somebody other than yourself. So again, you can, there's kind of two paths here when you register. It's register for yourself or register for someone else. If you're registering for yourself, pretty self-explanatory. If you're doing somebody else, this is kind of nice. You do not need to know people's logins or passwords, anything like that. You can go in and just register them. So let's see if we can find Barbara Butler on the list. And there she is, town of Calais. I'm going to hit next. You see that the price is free, which is a great price. And then I'm going to add that to cart. And you can see the date and all the information. At that point, you can either check out, you can add another member if you want. So let's say I'm Barbara and I'm going to register one of my board members. So you could go back through, and let's say we're going to search for Anne. There she is. So that's, click next, and you can go, got to put in a price, and then it'll allow you to add to cart. And so when you go down, you'll see at this point, I've got 2 items in my cart, one for Barbara, one for Anne. So in your town, you can sign up as long as they have a member profile. They should be able, you should have no problem signing other folks up, which is kind of a nice function. And then at that point, you get down, there's no discount codes. You'd hit checkout, and then you kind of get this last purple button, and you'll click that to place the order, and that'll be done. Those 2 would show up in their carts, and the invoicing would all kind of happen behind the scenes. You get an email confirmation, and then there's usually a follow-up email that will share the link. So that is that. We're going to go back to here. So that's the events piece. You can also use it just to search other events. If you're not really sure, you can search it this way. And it'll we'll have all of the events that are coming up displayed. You can also find this on our website. If you look at training and then events and calendar, on the website PC. This is just another way that you can get to basically the same page, or if you click on that, that'll bring you to the registration where you can go through the process that I just talked about. And as always, if you're trying to get back to your dashboard, going up to this little guy right there, and you're back. All right, so the next piece I am gonna do is member directory. So this one is actually super helpful. Just a way that you can kind of see who the membership here at VLCT, all the member towns, and anybody, if you're looking for an organization, you can also search for relationships. So let's say I was looking for town clerks. I can I'm gonna go here, search for town clerk, and search. And that'll give me a long list, 11 pages of all the town clerks and their contact information. So that's super helpful just as a resource for you. If you're trying to find out and you don't want to have to go to the town's website and try to decipher, we have a lot of that information in here. So that's a really handy tool. The other piece that I was going to point out, there are classifieds. You can post a job ad. Down here, the contact us piece. This is a really nice, powerful tool. You can submit an inquiry. So here we might have, we've got this drop down category. I think the important piece here is that there are a bunch of different ways that you can ask a question, whether it's something about advocacy, federal funding assistance, and then there's all of the municipal services here. So you can ask legal question, legal review and drafting, and then there's just like a basic one for question. So if you use the question one, you don't see exactly what you're looking for here, use question, that'll get routed to us, and then we'll kind of push that in the right direction. You can submit a priority, you'll put in your status, a requested date, and then you'll type your question in here. So you've sent a question, and a lot of times when you sent a question and it's been answered, you might open up your inquiries and go, well, where did my question go? So that's where you're going to go down here. You see this outstanding right here. Uncheck that, and you can see actually, okay, here's the question that I asked yesterday to Matt. And to open that, you're going to click on the ID. This will open up, let's do this first. This will open up your thing. I think this is interesting. Do this first. Let's go here. Wonder if that, anyhow. So you can see messages down here, and there's the message that I got back as a response. And it's marked as completed. Now let's do, this is interesting. I'm gonna close that shopping cart. Okay, that's better. So we're back. We went through the contact us. So yeah, we're asking folks to definitely use that contact us. If you have a question that you want to ask us, that is a great way to do it. The nice thing about that as well is that all of your questions will be in your dashboard so that you don't have to kind of dig through your emails. It's all there, and it's easy to find. And at this point, that's really kind of the big overview that I have for all of you all. Is there any questions? I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second and just see how we're doing. We're 15 minutes in. Does anybody have any specific questions that they are hoping to get answered?
Jeremy, can I ask a question, please?
You can.
Can you navigate? I know you just were sharing your screen, and we have had some, we have limited availability of items in the store, but maybe we could just poke over to the store for a second and take a look at that. And we
Sure.
would also just share for folks on the call that we're working on some member, non-member access to things. And we want to make sure that VLCT's webinars that our Municipal Assistance Center offers are only available to you all as members. And so we are working behind the scenes to fix that. So if you go to the store and say, oh my gosh, where are the things I normally see? Just know that we hope to have that wrapped up here in the next week or so. So there are only a couple of items there now, but the store mimics a lot of what we had in the store previously. So,
all right, so that's a great question. We'll go over, looks like screen is sharing. Let's check out the store. So view all products. So right now there, it looks like there's just these two items. It is a function that we're still working on. But you can, so currently we have up the municipal compensation and benefits report. We have the municipal calendars. So you can purchase and order either of those. Let's do this. And that brings up my cart.
we can also say that we've never seen this cart pop over everything else. So new feature for us. We're learning as well every day. That's fascinating.
Yep. It is a new system and we're all still kind of exploring this. So that was interesting. I haven't seen that before. But I suppose, yeah, as long as you're closing things out, that probably won't. So Jess, did you have anything else we should share about the store itself? Or as I like to call the gift shop?
The gift shop. So I just want to give a shout out to Jeremy. He's been with us just since March 20th. And as new as we are all to this, Jeremy's also new to VLCT, but not new to municipal government. He was formerly the town clerk in Calais. So he brings just a tremendous expertise to this role, and I couldn't be more grateful. So we are learning as we go. We learned a lot of things very quickly during Go Live, but there are still things we're figuring out. We have tremendous support from Euclid ClearVantage, who is kind of the runner of this system behind the scenes. So if we have one question, chances are lots of folks have it, and we're trying to get all of those things squared away. But do come back to the gift shop. We hope to put bookmarks and keychains and things like that in there soon. But we will have webinars, specifically the Municipal Assistance Center webinars. And of specific note, if you took a webinar online via our website through Mac prior to Go Live, you should still have access to those classes via Zoom. And so you won't find those on the store, but you can email info@vlct.org, and Denise Ricker, who's the third part of our operations team, will get those and she can share those links. So a little bit of a crossover update for you as we kind of work through those things. But the store will be up and running and ready to go here again in another few days. So thanks for that. And Jeremy, it looks like you have a question in the chat.
Yep, we got a couple questions. So I'm going to start with Barbara's question. Barbara's question says, how do I search for specific info? How many DRB members can a town have? What is a DRB term length? Does a DRB member have to be a town resident? Those are all things. So in terms of within the dashboard, I think that those would be probably questions more specific to our MAC team, our Municipal Assistance Center team. So that would be probably what I would suggest would be, and I'm going to go ahead and share this again. This would be an opportunity for you to kind of use that contact function. You could go and say legal question or legal inquiry, because it sounds like DRB, kind of part of that question was how many can they have? Do they have to be town residents? All those types of things. This would be a great place to use the contact us. You could use this drop down function here. Let's see if you can find something that would be appropriate. Development Review Board, something like that might be a good topic. And then you could actually just pop in that question here with a requested due date. You could use a normal or low priority. And if you toggle these, high priority requires an answer within 24 hours. Obviously, we'll try very hard to meet that. It kind of depends. This question seems like more of a normal or low. It's not something that's like an immediate issue. So you could assign a priority, drop in your comments and send, and you would submit. And then there was another question, kind of similar to that, is when I send a question, where do I find the response? And that's from Sandy Schweitzer. So what I would say is we'll go back to this, submit an inquiry, and then so you're going to toggle over to the My Inquiries. And so this has been kind of confusing for folks when they've submitted a question and you get an email notification that says, we answered your question, which is great. And then you go to your dashboard and you're all ready to look at your answer and it says no records found. So that's where we're going to go down to the status. We're going to uncheck the status because it is no longer outstanding and it's actually been completed. Once you unclick that, you'll see, okay, here's the message. And so the way that you're going to do that, Sandy, is you're going to just click on the ID. You're going to open it up. These carts are still here. That's interesting. New function, folks, new function. Learning every day. And so this is a question I actually submitted on the 18th, yesterday. And so you can kind of see the member info, the organizational info, the priority that I had assigned to it. You'll kind of see that the MAC legal team, it was assigned to the legal team, and that it's completed status. You can see the attorney who worked on it. And so you're going to just scroll all the way down, Sandy, to the messages, and you're going to open that up and you'll see the message that was populated there. If there's any related documents, they'll stick them in there and you'll see that it's marked as completed. I feel like maybe I could put that up there. That's a little bit better. So you could either delete that action item or it's just leave it there because it's will live on your dashboard forevermore for you to be able to access that information or use that access in whatever way you need.
Jeremy, can I offer some feedback for Barbara's second question?
Please.
So I was curious too. So there is the portal, and that's, you know, where we're focused. Once you're logged into the portal, you can navigate to just VLCT.org and put things in our search function. So Barbara, to your follow-up, sample job descriptions and some other things, the search, there's so much. Did you all know we've been around for 56 years this year? So when you search things, there's a lot of history. So the searching can be tricky. It will provide a lot. So being very mindful of what questions you put in. But as a first step, we'd always love you to just navigate to VLCT.org. You can go to the search. Right next to the login button is the spyglass, and you can put in the search there and try searching for a few keywords. There's lots of general information that is available to all members now, and this is why it's login only, so that any information that's here and available is only for you members to see. So to give that a shot first, and then if it's a very specific question to your town, if it's intricate, if it has multiple layers, or you simply just can't find it, then definitely consider creating your question through the Contact Us portal and go from there. But there are absolutely tons of things. For me, as I'm looking at this, and I've been doing this, you're like, how do I get there? So just leave this Municipal Access member portal open and open a new browser, and then just click into VLCT.org. It will recognize that you're already logged in. You can type whatever questions you have into the search function. So I hope that's helpful.
What else, guys? Is there anything else that you have questions about? Just doing a good broad overview of this new Municipal Access portal. And again, it's definitely a work in progress. We're still learning new things. It's new to VLCT. I'm new to VLCT, so we're all sort of just kind of learning together. And hopefully you all will see that this is a really powerful tool and better than it was, and we'll keep improving as we learn more. And getting some of these questions, Barbara and Sandy, and from other folks, it really helps us kind of understand better what members need and what the questions are out there just generally. Because if you have a question, I guarantee you there's probably 10 other people who have that exact same question of wanting to know how to do research on the website and where to find answers to questions. So that's very helpful feedback to get from you all.
And we do hope to have some, Jeremy's going to be listening to your questions, providing some additional training on key topics. There will be postcards and emails and all kinds of wonderful content coming from our communications team. And then based on feedback to that, we hope to do buckets of training sessions on how to post a classified specifically. Then that will be recorded and it will live on our website. So you can go back and ask or look for those pieces later. We can do a deep dive into how to process an action item is what we're calling it internally, but to contact us and ask a question. There are lots of functions. We asked the folks at CV and we think we're using about 80% of its functionality. There will be an entire training topic, we hope, for primary and alternate contacts. So if you're the main or secondary contact in your municipality, you will actually be able to log in and make changes to your contact list. If your zoning administrator leaves and you need to update that, we're still working on it because the people are, of course, in the system and you have your profiles. Additionally, like most municipal officials, one person could have 10 different responsibilities. So we call those relationships. So behind the scenes, and Barbara, we're going to use you because you and Jeremy work together a lot. So thank you for being the volunteer. If Barbara has 14 different roles in the town, we don't want to list Barbara 14 times because she'd get all these postcards, which thank you all for your feedback. I know a lot of you got a lot of postcards. We hadn't updated our list in a while. But if Barbara is the constable, and I don't judge me because I'm in HR, so I'm not sure which of these are statutorily allowed. But if Barbara's the constable and the town clerk or the assistant, and she's on the FAST squad and the E911 and all of that, she will be listed once in her profile and all of her contact and email will live there one time. And then separately, these relationships are tied together for any roles that Barbara has. So we have noticed we had changes on for our primary and alternate contacts, and all the new people got added, but all the relationships were still tied to the folks that had been there before. So if you have that and you are that person, when you log into your portal that Jeremy shared earlier, you will have an extra button somewhere on the left-hand side that says company. So right now you can observe that and see that, but for folks that will eventually make those changes, right now you can't make a lot of changes because we have to write the training and give you those instructions first. But that is a nice way if you are those folks, and it is typically either a town manager or an administrator or primarily the clerk. If you are that person, you can quickly go on and see who all we have associated with your town. And Jeremy's been doing a record job of getting new folks associated with your town if they hadn't already been signed up. So there is more training that we hope to do very soon, but there's a lot of functionality that will be really nice for you to just be able to update on your own. And if you can or you are not sure, we can export that data for you and send it to you so you can update it and ship it back. And Jeremy and I and Denise have been helping with a lot of those updates.
What else? Anything else? Do folks have questions? Because that's about all I have in terms of high-level stuff to show you all today. Like Jessica had mentioned, we will have future programming for more specific topics. If you realize you have a question that you didn't ask today, you can always reach out to me. I am happy to chat. I am your membership coordinator. I'm here to make sure that you all can get access to all of the great things that VLCT has to offer. So feel free to reach out to me. Or if something you get locked out of your account or you're painted yourself into a corner somehow, just reach out. We're more than happy to help. And aside from, oh, thank you. And there's my email. And you should be able to find it on our website as well, under staff. So if there are no other questions, I'll wait and just see if anybody has anything else. But in the meantime, yeah, feel free to reach out. Let me know how things are going, what's working, what's not working. We are still in processing and kind of getting everything configured. But I think we're off to a really great start. And I think with that, we'll probably call it an afternoon. I really appreciate all of you joining us. It's been a pleasure. Nice little dry run, and just, yeah, absolutely keep in touch. We've got lots more to come, and we're here to keep making sure that you guys have what you need. So thank you so much for joining us, and hope you all have a fantastic day.